One of our Twitter followers has pointed out Saito also cracked 300 pro points. He's at 301 after his top 16 here. All right, Brown's got a lightning bolt for the Nicodle. And, of course, Skyfisher. Is that a land? It was. The M10 land comes into play untapped, so just what Andre Coimbra needed. Now, a Johnny? Yes. A Johnny and kill the Skyfisher. Oh, wait, Coimbra needed a land there. And he did. He found it. Drew exactly what he needed.
Coimbra goes up to 21 on the Lightning Helix-like effect. There's a Ranger of Eos from Brown.
David Reitbauer waits in the finals for the winner of this match.
Goes and gets Boros Bushwhacker and Elite Vanguard.
Sure. He really is setting up for a great next turn. Reitbauer, before he plays that finals, though, he gets to turn into an audience member and watch the Austrian team to see if they can get the job done against China.
So you keep one of Brahm's lands tapped here. Play a Ranger.
It's a mountain, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, keeping a plains tap might keep him off of...
Well, but if you can't kick out the Bushwhacker,
sure.
So Bushwhacker's worthless as a 1-drop. So yeah, does indeed tap a mountain. Ranger for Coimbra.
And gets 2 Wild Nicoddles, I'm sure. Wild Nicoddle Scoot Mob.
Oh, Scoot Mob. So is Flores home watching this, do you think?
Mike Flores has got 2 kids. He needs all the sleep he can get. I mean, he could Twitter and tell us if he's watching this.
That's true.
I'm sure we would have heard from him.
The fact that he's got 2 kids means he's got training of how to deal without sleep, though.
True.
Maybe he just went to bed secure in the knowledge that his deck would surely win.
He goes to bed every night secure in the knowledge that his deck is going to win. So there was another mountain for...
Yeah, Brahm did have the other mountain, so he's able to play the Bushwhacker and the Vanguard. So, what? You just smash a Johnny, right? With everybody?
You can send 2 of them to Johnny and 1 at...
oh, right,
Andre.
that's better. It's definitely better. So he sends the Ranger at Andre, right?
These 2 attack Johnny, this one attacks you.
Interesting. He'd prefer to keep the bigger creature around, so he's just trying to make Coimbra's blocking life a little bit more difficult. Coimbra has the 1 blocker, right? Coimbra can trade Ranger Vios for his choice of anybody. Okay. Johnny dies, and he does not trade the Ranger.
Sure. Takes 3.
Why wouldn't you trade Ranger for somebody there? Goes on the offense? Coimbra's at 18? All right, Scoot Mob and Nicodle.
Scoot Mob is not threatening to get big next
turn. No 5th land for Coimbra. Teetering Peaks. Teetering Peaks means both those guys are 3 power. So...
Put the Scoot Mob in front of the Bushwhacker, or do you just take the damage and it's a 1-1 next turn?
Huh. I'm surprised Coimbra attacked with that Ranger. It seems like you don't really want to trade damage with the Bushwhacker deck, right? I mean, Coimbra's deck is better set up for the late game. And again, he declines to trade with a Ranger. So 14 to 15 now.
Does Bram have the Baneslayer Angel?
That'd be pretty good here.
2, 4, 5.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Good in extended, good in standard.
Wow, catch a look at Coimbra's hand. Burst Lightning, Lightning Bolt, Ranger of Eos, and Bloodbraid Elf. So uses the Bolt and the Burst Lightning to deal with Baneslayer.
Doesn't want to attack this turn.
So his hand is Bloodbraid and... what did I say? Ranger. I know Bram has a Ranger in his hand. Bram is Ranger Mountain. So Bram's set up for a... wow, Bram is set up for a Bushwhacker turn. Yeah, Bram can go Elite Vanguard, Ranger, Elite Vanguard, Bushwhacker, and play them all. Which is the scary thing, which is why I'm surprised Coimbra's been trading damage instead of creatures. Like, he's had two different opportunities to trade somebody for that Ranger, and instead he's just taken... Ranger, Vanguard, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's true. Coimbra ships the turn. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not... they're all trades. Like, nobody... I mean, I guess Nikado can eat the Bushwhacker, but whatever. You're content with that if that's how it plays out. I didn't see what Bram drew, but it certainly seems like you Ranger up a Bushwhacker and presumably a Vanguard. Yeah, he did. He drew Elspeth off the top. I still make the Ranger play, and then next turn you can Elspeth and send somebody to the air. Of course, Elspeth make a token makes the Bushwhacker even better. Like, then you can make a token. The Bushwhacker gives Elspeth token haste. Turns into a 20-point attack. So which way does Bram play it? Okay, Elspeth now. Saves his Ranger. Oh, sends Ranger to the air. Yeah, that Ranger shouldn't be alive. I feel like Coimbra should have traded somebody for it a while ago. All right, Coimbra down to 9 thanks to those 6 damage. Bloodbraid into Hierarch. Not the most exciting Bloodbraid ever.
Another one of the criticisms of the deck is that the Bloodbraid Elves
Yeah.
a number of just kind of meh cards that they can hit.
Sure.
Most notably,
Coimbra stares over. He has to win this game. He's down 2 games to 1. Coimbra staring at the board.
Bram is looking to return to a finals of a Pro Tour for the first time since 2002 in Nice, when he lost to Ivan Knitter.
Wow.
7 years since he's been as far as the finals in a Pro Tour. He could be one Ranger of Eos away from it.
All right. Coimbra wants to get rid of Elspeth. Bram's like, okay.
Sure.
That makes my life a lot easier. That means you're dead.
I am going to
Coimbra
Pro
shakes
Tour
his
finals.
hand. Wow. Yep, that Ranger's going to go get a Bushwhacker, and...
Bram held back a land last turn for that. That was kind of nice. He could have played that mountain. Held it.
Really?
No.
Wasn't the game over there? What am I missing?
But does he not have a Boros? Does he not have a Goblin Bushwhacker?
What am I missing? Why did he not just win the game right there?
Andre's at 7.
Are there no Bushwhackers left in his deck?
Is he taking them out in favor of other cards? I mean, that could be the answer.
Huh.
That is the answer.
Okay, there were no Bushwhackers in his deck. Never mind. Seems like he really wanted a Bushwhacker in his deck right there. Isn't this the Boros Bushwhacker deck? How do you take out the namesake card? Apparently it's the Boros Vanguard deck.
Interesting. And why would he tap in such a way that he can't play
Can't
both
play them
of
both? Well, he had to tap white because he needed a white for Ranger, that's why.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gets 2 Steplings instead.
Yeah, he's been holding his land in his hand. Don't you leave one Bushwhacker in? You've got a Ranger deck. Like, the ability to tutor it up. He hasn't gone through one already this game, has he?
He did go through one, right? The Scoot Mob traded with
Oh,
Bushwhacker.
right. So his deck, after sideboarding, had precisely one Bushwhacker left in it. In theory, he could tutor it up when he needed it. Apparently didn't think the odds of the game playing out this way were very high. Didn't expect to want a second one. He plays the land so that he can play both Steplingses. Coimbra's at 7.
And he only has 2 Bushwhackers to start with.
Starts with 2? Ranger, Hierarch, and land for Coimbra. Land is good news. All right, cracking the fetch lane will drop Coimbra to 6. Does, of course, play the Ranger. Let's compare Nicottles. Does he have 2 left? Is this going to be Hierarch?
He just has 2 Hierarchs left.
Oh. It's funny, both players have just run out of gas.
Well, they have to sideboard out so many cards for their post-board games.
These Rangers are so much worse, though, now. All right. Bram can play a land and turn on both those Steplingses. That would give him 5 attackers. Steplings, Ranger, and Elite Vanguard. The blockers available to Coimbra include the 3/3 Nicottle that would have its choice
or a Steplings.
of eating a Steplings or a Vanguard, right? And then, but everybody else is 3/2 or 0/1. So it seems like if you're Bram Snapvangers, you're supposed to just play a land and smash. Right? You'll either...
When the dust settled, Bram would have 1 creature, and Andre would have a wild Nicottle.
Bram's got Teetering Peaks in his hand. Maybe you're not supposed to. Boy, the lack of that Bushwhacker has totally changed this. It's like the game has gone from mathematically over to all of a sudden Coimbra has time to play out enough blockers.
Right.
Yeah, if Bram attacks, he'll either get through for 2 or he'll force Hierarch to chump block. But It'll be a trade, and a Coddle beating up somebody. Bram would be down to one creature, so that does not sound like a particularly good attack to me.
They would both have one creature when the dust settled, right?
Well, Nikado will survive, and Coimbra will have his choice of a
whatever
Hierarch.
creature the Hierarch blocks will survive.
Hierarch doesn't necessarily block.
Right.
Coimbra gets his choice of 2 life or a Hierarch. So that's not a particularly exciting attack phase. But then again, what happens later? Like, when does the attack get better for Bram? It gets better when he draws a Bushwhacker, but that's not going to happen. How many Elspeths does he run?
We're playing a Baneslayer game here, I think.
Well, that's Edge Coimbra, who runs twice as many of them. Here's Bloodbraid. Oh, oops. Baneslayer's headed to the bottom. Land. Thoktar. These last 2 games have been crazy. Both times we had one player all but having won the game. And it looks like the other guy may come back to win it. Like, how does Coimbra lose from this position? I mean, Elspeth and Baneslayer have to come off the top, right? How many Elspeths does he run? Looks like 2 in the main, 1 in the board. I don't know if he boarded the 1 in or not.
Or if he boarded 1 out.
And there's another Hierarch from Coimbra. And another Hierarch from Coimbra. You attack with somebody, right?
You got to send someone in here.
Send somebody.
You send
it's +3,
you send
+3.
a 6/6 Noble Hierarch, or you send a 6/5 Ranger.
It's either Bloodbraid or a Ranger. Probably
also
Bloodbraid.
6/5.
Yeah, 6/5 Bloodbraid.
Hey.
Snapfingers takes it down to 8.
See if we can figure out how Bram has sideboarded exactly by this game.
Wow, Bram has drawn an Oblivion Ring, but this board is so awful for him. The 3 Hierarchs mean anything Coimbra attacks with is going to be gigantic. All right, so the 3rd Elspeth is indeed in Snapfingers' deck.
How big it is.
So Bram has played a Teetering Peaks and attacked with a 4/3 Step Links.
Yep.
Do you just trade this with a Ranger Venus?
Yeah, we trade a Ranger or
the other Bloodbraid or whatever.
We trade the Bloodbraid because Snapfingers has a Celestial Purge. So the Bloodbraid's just strictly worse after they're in play.
2 cards.
No, he's just going to
Chump
with a Noble
Really?
Hierarch.
Crumper's a big believer in chump blocking with Noble Hierarchs, that's for sure. He's done a lot more of that than I would have in his seat.
Well, his 5/4 attackers still require 2 blocks.
Sure, but what's the downside of trading? Like, if your attack plan is thanks to the...
You think that was a live card from Andre?
Let's see what it was. All right, Bram's down to 8. Coimbra's at 6.
I mean, he just makes the same attack here, right?
Seems like Coimbra... I mean, he's got double Hierarch, so he should be attacking with somebody at +2/+2. Bram Snapfingers sideboarded out one of his... that was why Coimbra wanted to keep everything alive. Because he's got this plan. 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-3.
Jan Moritz Merkel has nothing on Andre Coimbra.
Coimbra sends everybody smashing into the red zone. Bram has no good blocks. He can trade, and then he's going to be forced to chump block with the other step links.
So the Wild Mikado is a 3-3. It doesn't actually need a forest to get its first point of power. That comes inherently, so you can play it off of a non-forest source if anyone out there is wondering about that.
Bram's going to chump block and save his 3-2. Oh, he wants to make sure that Elspeth is lethal.
Yes.
Yeah, so Bram is playing to top deck Elspeth. He takes 6 down to 2. He's dead next turn, but he wanted to leave himself live outs. So Elspeth off the top will get the job done. Baneslayer off the top. Oh! Elspeth not going to be good enough anymore. Baneslayer from Coimbra. Looks like we are headed to game number 5. Andre Coimbra takes game 4, evens this match at 2 games apiece. They'll play one game to find out who gets to play for the title of world champion against David Reitbauer. Will it be the Portuguese player, Andre Coimbra, in his second world's top 8, looking to get the job done? Or will it be the veteran Dutchman, Bram Snapfingers, in his 4th top 8, looking to get back to the finals for the first time since Nice 7 years ago? Who do you like in Game 5, Brian?
I mean, you have to... Well, it depends on how Bram sideboards. I mean, we definitely... Game 1, I would almost certainly say Bram. But without the explosiveness of his deck in Game 1, that ability to do all the things that he's done, we saw what would have happened if he had the extra Boros Bushwhacker.
Second Bushwhacker, he's in the finals. And it looks like he is going back to his sideboard. I see one card face down.
You think that one card is a
I bet it's the Bushwhacker that he wants to put back in. Or did you do the whole... Did he shuffle
maybe he's
in?
doing play and draw, right? On the play, he wants Goblin Guides. On the draw, he doesn't.
Yeah, he shuffled all 15 in. Another veteran move. What do you think? Does it make sense to take out the Bushwhacker in this matchup?
You know, certainly looking at this particular game, it did not. But I mean, he has to find room for some of the other cards he wants to bring in. He wants to bring in his... Do we have exactly what he ended up bringing in that last game?
So last game, he brought in the Elspeth. He brought in 2 Oblivion Rings. He brought in 2 Journeys. He brought in the Celestial